Right. And, we as a society, and you know this more than I do, but we look to the quick fix. And that's where they go to these fad diets and these fad workouts and these fad things. And, eat right, sleep, and do some exercising in between that, and you have your balanced life. But it's the world of social media, the world of instant gratification is, okay, I can go take this pill and be great. Or I can go do this diet for 6 weeks and it's all gone. Well, what happens when you get back to it? It comes on twice as fast, right?
That's why 90% of people who lose weight on a diet regain it within a year. Some gain even more.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I advocate lifestyle as opposed to a diet, which is temporary, extreme, hard to stick with, and are potentially dangerous. You mentioned fad diet. Do you know what fad stands for?
I do not.
I call it fat and desperate.
Okay. Well, that's great. It is true, right?
It is. And you're a veteran, correct?
Yeah, I am. Yes.
And what branch of the service did you serve in?
I was with the Army. I did a stint with the 3rd Ranger Battalion for a few years. Then I was with the 82nd for a few years.
Well, thank you for your service.
Thank you. Yeah.
I know that in the military, they have a code of honor. A lot of people don't have a code of honor or have any rules that they abide by. And being in the military, that's very important to follow rules, correct?
That's right. Yeah. Yep. Very true.
And that's what I tell people with nature. If you don't follow nature's rules, there's going to be consequences.
And you see it, right? I mean, we're looking at it with the cancerous and all the stuff that's just coming into play. I mean, without getting off on these tangents, healthy people can beat this stuff. It's a lot of it's mindset, but again, it's how healthy you are. And I can tell you this: nobody on their deathbed ever said, "I wish I worked more."
And a lot of times, you can't take your money with you if you're not able to enjoy it. What good is it?
That's right.
I have some women that their husbands just don't want to take care of their bodies, and they're concerned. And I said, "How much life insurance do you have on them?" They're like, "Well, what do you mean?" I said, "Well, just ask your husband to take out some additional life insurance so that when he goes, you can enjoy it with the next guy."
That's right.
Motivate him.
Yeah. That'll light a fire underneath it.
Some of them don't like it so much. So.
We're in a world of coddling, and sometimes the hard truth is not what we want to hear, but we need to hear it. And that's really what it is.
Exactly. And as a business owner, if you're not going to do it for yourself, think about your employees. How's it going to affect them if something happens to you or your spouse or your kids? I mean, why are you working so hard to earn extra money? What's important to you? What do you think keeps your clients up at night? What do they fear the most?
Right now is the economy. They're stressed about the shrinking dollar, the shrinking profits. So, they're trying to pull in more money, more revenue, but really what they just have to do is fix their business, fix the operational aspect of their company to make it work correctly so they can step away. And I always tell my clients, I say, if I could take you today and put you on a 6-month vacation, what would happen to your business? And if the business would survive, then they have a good, viable business. If it doesn't survive and they need them, then they don't have a business. So then you can't sell the business because they're part of the business. It won't operate without them. So they are in all the choke point, the bottleneck of the company. So it can't grow, it can't do anything because of them. So, once they see that and realize that, a lot of that stress comes off of their shoulders. But right now it's the stress of, how am I going to pay this? They're robbing Peter to pay Paul. Even though they've got revenue coming in, their profits are really shrinking, and now we're starting to see this cycle of how do if I get this job, I got to pay for this job back here, or to this. It's kind of almost like a Ponzi scheme. They're getting too far out in front of themselves that they're going to be in trouble, and so then that stress comes to their home lives, and they're going, well, what do I? It's not their family's fault. It's just the fault that we've lived in such prosperity for the last 12 years. No one ever thought it would happen again. And here we come again.
Yes, and people think that it's expensive to eat healthy when it's actually less expensive to eat healthy and more expensive to eat the fast foods. I don't know if people have been through the drive-through lately. Most of them probably have, but most of the meals I see are $8, $9, $10. What used to be $2 or $3.
Right.
And what I found, it used to be stress was the number one reason for people being overweight. And what I learned from a medical doctor was it's no longer stress, it's convenience.
Yeah.
Because it's easier, as you mentioned, to go through the drive-thru at a fast food place. It's easier to order a pizza or have it delivered or pick up a bucket of fried chicken or get the frozen meal and throw it in the microwave. So people aren't taking the time anymore to, number one, go and buy the fresh food and,
right.
And then taking time to prepare it or cook it.
It's just that instant. So if I can eat, multitasking, and we're the worst. Americans are the worst. We are the worst at it. We are just gotta have it now, gotta have it now. I'll do it, I'll get to it. And we just need to slow down.
Yeah, I like that you said slow down because Mark David wrote a book called The Slow Down Diet. And in there he says, take 5 minutes for breakfast, give yourself 10. And if you take, lunch or dinner, give yourself at least 30 minutes where you're not doing anything, just eating and focusing on the food. The other thing is a lot of people may not realize our portion sizes have been supersized without realizing it. In Europe, their dinner size plate is still 9 inches. Ours is 12 inches. Back in the 1900s when our parents and grandparents were growing up, it was 9 inches in diameter. And if you go to a restaurant, it's anywhere from 13 to 15 inches for a serving platter. So we're getting way, way, way too much food.
Yeah.
Usually what I tell people is when you order a meal, if you're not going to share it with someone, then get a to-go box right away, put half in it to go and eat the other half. That way you're getting 2 meals for the price of one. So you're saving money.
Yeah.
You're also eating the small portion, which is better for you.
And I'd go back to, I'm a military guy, so we had to eat very fast. And that has stuck with me for 40 years now. I mean, it's just crazy, but I have to consciously make myself slow down, eat slower, because it was trained in me just to hurry up and get it down. So yeah, I gotta, and I've noticed that the slower I eat, the fuller I become, and I don't have to eat as much.
Exactly. The other thing people can do is drink more water. And the reason I say that is 75% of the U.S. population is chronically dehydrated.
Yeah.
And there's a direct correlation because 72% of the U.S. adult population is overweight, of which 42% are clinically obese. And a lot of times what happens is we think we're hungry, we're actually thirsty. And people may not realize it, but our bodies are 60 to 70% water, not the soda or diet soda, fruit juices or fruit flavored beverages. So it's important to drink water throughout the day and keep hydrated.
Yeah, I drink, this is 32 ounces, so I drink at least 5 or 6 of those a day.
That's a lot of water.
It is a lot of water.
You're exercising in the morning too.
Yeah, and I do. I'll pound them, but I can tell when I don't do it. If I don't have my water intake, I get sluggish and headaches.
Yeah, and that's one of the side effects of not having enough water, which is why people probably have migraines and don't realize that the underlying cause is being dehydrated.
That's right.
There's a good way for someone to reach out to you if they want to get some guidance and advice from you.
They could come to my website, which is just nortonresults.com. They contact me that way, or Brian at nortonresults.com. Reach out. I do a free assessment for, it's about a 30,000 foot view of each business. But it gives them a good roadmap to see where they go and what they need to get done. And I do that. And it's just the passion of mine is to educate small business owners to understand some of the stuff that these big corporate CEOs and stuff they have. We have the tools down here, but we're just not good at finding the tools and going to. So if they want to reach out, they can come to my website and just fill out that contact me, and I'll give them a shout.
Do you work with solopreneurs or entrepreneurs as well?
I do. We some of those are just hobbyists still, but they still need to know how to get them to where they want to go. They don't have that education. College doesn't really prepare you to be an entrepreneur. It really prepares you how to take a test and read a textbook and all that stuff. So we put some real world applications into their business so they can understand it, and then know, okay, if you want to go from here to here, this is how you're going to have to do it.